day it is in this lovely digital environment that we have found ourselves trapped for the last 2 weeks. Only every 2 weeks are we able to come out and send any message whatsoever, so we decided to talk about comics. Isn't that right?
It is right, and I just checked my phone to see if it was the 21st of September so that I could say, it's the 21st night of September, like the song. But it's not. It's the 22nd that we're recording this. 21st night of September.
Oh, bye!
Yeah! Because then that would be appropriate to sing right now, but it's not.
Oh.
It's the next day, so.
Well, that's too bad.
Scratch that.
Honestly, it's the 21st of September somewhere, right?
I guess. Maybe.
Or is there a new place that is the 21st of September still? We're recording this on the 22nd of September night. There must be someone somewhere.
Maybe.
Who knows? We wouldn't know because we're stuck in a digital area. So here we go. We're comics covered. And that's one thing that we can do. We can cover comics for the week of September 18, 2019, episode 88. We were just watching a movie which featured a group of gang members called the Crazy 88s. So maybe today we are the Crazy 88s. Huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, here on Comics Covered, other than random shit, we talk about comic books, we swear. And the world around them, the comics industry, the movies, the TV, the games. We'll talk spoilers, and we'll worry about them. Honestly, we have been mostly talking about just the books recently. And it's,
I mean, movies as well.
We'll talk about movies if they come about, for sure. But
the TV. We've talked about some TV.
We talked about TV. Okay, maybe that was a lie. When it comes about, when it's relevant, we'll talk about it. But we haven't had a lot of news, honestly. I feel like the next big TV thing coming out is when does HBO's Watchmen series start? Right. That's a big one.
Right. I don't know when that starts, actually.
We'll have to figure that out. But we'll talk spoilers at some point. We'll talk about some books from this week. It'll be fantastic. And we'll warn you about those. My name is Jack. And
yeah.
What?
And you were going to say something after. Your name is Jack, and
is that it? Well, I was going to give a dramatic pause.
You're just Jack.
I'm just Jack. Isn't that a television show thing?
I don't know.
Sorry. I think it was on Will and Grace. There was a character named Jack who was flamboyantly gay and shit. So yeah, I'm Jack. Yeah. I'm that Jack. Nice. Come to don you with many dons.
Cool.
Who are you?
I am Samantha.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I'm working through comics.
Yeah?
Going through the motions and stuff.
You're just going through the motions? That's too bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to, really take it in?
I'm taking it in.
Yeah?
It's just taking some time, but I'm taking it in.
We have a lot. We had a realization this week where we looked at the list of things that we own that Samantha hasn't read. And we thought, maybe since there are over 100 things on there, we shouldn't buy any more to put on the list.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
It is.
We don't even have... I wish we had a bookcase. We got to build a bookcase.
We got to get a bookcase.
Because we don't have a bookcase. Currently, every single one of our comic books are in a box.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
It's not good. It's very cluttered.
Yeah.
We need it organized.
And I'm proud of our collection. We have a lot of shit now.
Yeah. For only reading for 2 years?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Seriously. And a lot of it we don't... I wonder if we own... if we have read of what we own more than half of it.
I don't know.
Well, Samantha, we're here to talk about comics. And you know what that means? It means we had some weekly comics. They're not weak, though.
No.
They're just weekly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we had some pretty exciting things. We're going to talk about 5 of these. But, Samantha, what did we pick up in all this week?
So this week, we had Absolute Carnage, number 3. Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 12. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, number 12. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 10. High Level, number 6. House of X, number 5.
House of 10, right?
No. Justice League, number 32. And Inferior 5, number 5. And I picked up Strayed, number 1. And I think that was from last month.
I think that was last... No, I think that was last week, actually.
Really? Because that was number 1. Number 2 is already out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll need to get it.
Yeah.
We picked up the new series Strayed by, I'm looking right now, Carlos Gaffoni, Wando, and Matt Krotzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that at the end. Just a little, new series that we wanted to try out because it has a cat in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to give spoilers right now about some of these books.
Wait, before we do that, Jack, you had one other that I did not have.
I picked up Superman number 15, which is the ending of Brian Michael Bendis' first long arc of Superman.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people... Brian Michael Bendis seems to be very divisive. I personally really, really have enjoyed both Superman and Action Comics, even though I think Action Comics has been the better title overall. Superman has the big ups and the big downs. You know what I mean? It's the more erratic, I don't know. One thing that you can always count on with Superman, though, is amazing artwork by Ivan Reis.
Okay, so it's always the same person.
Yes, it's really consistent. Action Comics has switched from a few people, and it's just a different art style that they've been doing with that. It's been good. Steve Epting was on art for a while of it, and he's fantastic. But yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
Nice.
So I picked that up. I'm still picking it up. Samantha's going to read all that Superman stuff at some point. That's going to be a big undertaking.
I know. We have an entire box, I think, in our room that says Soups Comics, right?
Yeah, it says Soups/AC.
Yeah.
So it's air conditioned in there. It's
right,
okay.
Exactly.
I actually wanted to say one more thing. This week I called the comic book store and asked them to put a bunch of Supergirl issues into my poll.
Really?
Because it was kind of annoying. Brian Michael Bendis, when he was writing Superman, had this big story, and he sectioned off a bit of the story, a bit of the backstory for this main villain that he's working with into the Supergirl series that's ongoing.
Okay.
So I wasn't really acutely aware of that story being fleshed out there, and I was a little disappointed at the end of this big arc about some of the lack of character development that I got from the villain end. So I put the 4 issues I think 29 through 32 of Supergirl, so I could read them and insert them into the Superman series where they need to be.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited to read that. That'll be nice. I like Superman, again, I'll say. But for now, let's talk some spoilers about some big books. I'm going to give the warning, because I enjoy giving this sound that we always do, you know?
The same sound, always.
Same sound. It was going in and out.
I get it. That's kind of dull.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to do the same thing every single week. So
that's true. You do.
I'm sorry. Nonetheless, that is your spoiler warning, no matter what you think about it. So shut your goddamn mouths. No, pardon me. That was rude. We're going to talk about some spoilers, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Inferior Five, number 1 of a new 12-issue maxi series by Keith Giffen and Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, so I didn't read it this week because there was some things that needed to be read prior to reading it to fully understand. Right?
So yes, so it's 1989. Sorry, in 1989, they released this storyline at DC called Invasion. It was a big crossover event, it seems like. And its main story was told in 3 80-page issues that were released in books. So I read, since it's all on DC Universe, the entire Invasion storyline. And I'm going to give you, Samantha, some insight into what you can expect from this. Because I also read this issue, so I know what you need to know, I guess.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of stuff going into this big Invasion storyline. And in terms of quality, I personally think the first 2 issues are a little annoying to read because it seems like they introduce a problem in the first issue, then they solve the problem in the second issue, and then in the third issue, a completely new problem kind of arises out of the wake of that first problem. But it's completely unrelated, really.
Huh.
So here we go. The Invasion storyline starts with these alien dudes who are super, they're mega planners. They take all the things into account, they plan things, and they have a specific plan that they want to go out and do So these aliens have the bright idea to invade planet Earth. Because why not? They want to get like this huge alliance of different alien races to all invade planet Earth because they convince them that they pose a big threat due to the heavy amount of superheroes that are, there, living on planet Earth. So these aliens who have these plans called the Dominators, they have these like little teeth things. I'm going to show you a picture of it. They're like these animals, not the animals, sorry. They're these aliens that have these huge teeth. This guy right here. They have like a big long face with dots on their forehead, and they have huge teeth, like buck teeth almost.
They're great.
They're pretty cool. So they're like these sniffling like...
Orthodontists would love them.
They love them, exactly. They would go every week. So they have this plan. They get together like 6 races, including Thanagarians, the Hawk people, the Coons, who are mega battle people. They have these like other aliens who are shapeshifters. I don't know. They got a bunch of them. And so they go... Basically, the whole first book is them getting ready to attack Earth. And then they go attack Earth. Specifically, they enter through Australia. So they destroy Australia, and they have their Earth base there. And then they ask the rest of the planet Earth, after they've succeeded in dominating Australia, to hand over all superheroes, and then they will leave and stop the invasion. So, the planet Earth then says, no, I don't think we will do that for you. So the second issue is kind of all about the superheroes dealing with the problem and like going up against them and, hitting all their bases and everything. A lot of the story happens in crossover issues. There'll be like a list of things that happened, and it'll be like, oh, see this in Black Lightning number 45, or this in Flash number 30. So it's kind of annoying, but they basically solve the problem. They beat the aliens. Meanwhile, 2 things. Superman is having an issue. Superman, he comes in contact with one of the aliens that is in this alien alliance invading planet Earth, and they're called the Daxamites. They're observers, but because they are in a different sun, a different solar system, they have similar powers to Superman. A similar thing to what Kryptonians, like, that whole thing with Kryptonians? Yeah. They're born in a red sun, so when they're in a yellow sun, they're like Superman.
Yeah.
So the Daxamites learn that they have powers like Superman. Too bad, though, because after about an hour, they start getting poisoned and could die.
Shit.
So Superman's like, okay, I'm going to bring them outside of the atmosphere, and they'll like be better. And they are very happy with Superman. They're like, oh my god, you did this even though we're part of the alliance to invade you. That's amazing. So they switch sides, and they turn the tide in the war, and they win. But this worries Superman, too, because I think that they are like writing Superman in this part as like, he's worried, he's tentative to set foot on Earth again for some weird reason. And I don't know, I think part of it has to do with him seeing them get sick from the Earth's environment after some time when they had a similar physiological reaction to the solar system as he did.
Right.
I don't know. But there's something weird going on with that. Because at the end of this threat, Superman doesn't come back to Earth. Like, he's disappeared. It's crazy. Now, sorry, I know this is long.
That's okay. I mean, it was 82 pages?
Yes.
But 3 of them or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm really trying to condense it down.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, as this invasion is going on / failing, there is another one of these Dominator guys with the big teeth who says, okay, I think the best idea is to attack the superheroes and to like neutralize the threat. So he creates this thing called a gene bomb, which is supposed to target what they have come now to define as the meta gene. Have you heard of this terminology? Like metahumans. I feel like I have, yeah. They're metahumans, and they get their powers from a metagene that goes off when they're under intense human like physiological stress. They discuss it a lot in Doomsday Clock, actually. Right. How they like how the American government tried to force it to happen.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat similar. So this dude wants to set up a gene bomb, and he does, and things go wrong. And basically, that's what starts the whole threat in the third issue. So the first and second issues are all invasion happens, invasion gets thwarted.
Yeah.
The third issue is all about them dealing with this gene bomb thing, where a bunch of the heroes have overactive powers, and then they die. They're sick as dogs, and they're laying in beds, and everyone's like, I don't know what's going on. So then they go to the alien planet along with Superman because it's not on Earth. And they try and figure out the antidote. They figure out the antidote, and they bring it back, and that's all there is, really. But
okay.
Superman is not going back to Earth because he's weird about some shit there. And this, metagene thing the universe has now learned of. So they, know how to define superheroes, I guess, now. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what else to say about the invasion storyline. I really enjoyed the pencils by Keith Geffen, who's also penciling this Inferior Five series, which is a follow-up to Invasion.
So it's supposed to be, exactly after?
Yes. I don't believe there's a time jump or anything. I believe this is set in it would be pre-Infinite Crisis continuity, pre-New 52 and everything. From the 80s. This would be set in that continuity.
Okay, so the thing that you just read was from the 80s?
Yeah.
And this just came out now. That's crazy.
Exactly. And this is set in that DC continuity. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Another big thing about this is there's a backup story that is written and drawn by Jeff Lemire about Peacemaker, who apparently loves peace so much that he will kill for it.
Wow.
Which sounds so funny to me.
I love this dude. He loves me so much he'll kill for it.
Yes.
My kind of man.
Oh, yeah? Do you want me to be more like Peacemaker?
Definitely.
And he has this cool little helmet thing. He's very cool.
Pretty cool.
Funny story about Peacemaker. He is a character from Charlton Comics. Mm-hmm. Do you know the significance of Charlton Comics?
I do not.
Charlton Comics is where characters like The Question, Captain Atom, who else? Blue Beetle, Peacemaker. They all came from Charlton Comics, which DC bought back in the day.
Okay.
The Charlton Comics characters that they bought are who Alan Moore wanted to use originally for Watchmen.
Ah.
But they said no. So he just uses analogs of all of them.
Yeah.
The Question is Rorschach is an analog of The Question.
Right.
Dr. Manhattan is a analog of Captain Atom. What is it? The Peacemaker, I think, is a comedian. Is the analog of Peacemaker. I don't remember any others. Blue Beetle. What is it? The Owl, Night Owl.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. That's where Peacemaker comes from.
Very cool.
I think that's all I have to say about Inferior 5. I like this issue, and I'm really excited for this to continue. One of the things about the Invasion storyline was that I don't think the writing was very good. I don't think this plot line was very good.
But is the writing in this any better?
The writing in this is Jeff Lemire. He's doing the script. Keith Geffen is just doing the plot and the...
Right, but is the writing any better?
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like Jeff Lemire to me.
Good.
Which is fantastic, and I love him. Okay, well, let's move on. Do you want to talk about Absolute Carnage a little bit? You were just flipping through it, and I've been talking a long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first thing, I love this cover. The cover was so cool.
Why? What do you like about it?
You take out all the colors and just the penciling of it, and how long that must have taken. It's so detailed and intricate.
Yeah. They got all these people fighting out of Carnage's body, and I wonder if we can... I want you to try and name all these people, actually.
Well, there's Spider-Man. I don't know who that is.
The Thing.
Oh, yeah, the Thing.
From the Fantastic Four.
I don't know who that is.
I think that's supposed to be Black Cat. I believe it is. Good question. I don't know who this dude falling out of his torso is.
That's Captain America.
Captain America. I think that's a different symbiote. Scream? Maybe? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I think that's Matt Gargan, Scorpion.
Okay.
And...
Punisher?
No, Venom. It's Venom. Sorry. I was trying to think of his name. Oh my gosh. Is there another person right here? Who's this dude?
That is someone. I don't know.
Wolverine! That's Wolverine, isn't it? Look at these little black eye things.
Yeah,
on the corner.
yeah.
Top left corner. Okay, so do you want to tell me a little bit about Absolute Carnage, or do you want me to go into just this issue, kind of? Because we come upon Miles and Mac, like, we just dealt with them, like, fighting a bunch of Carnage people, and Mac Gargan is a target because he's warned them before. Right. And he's paralyzed now.
Right.
So, like, we have, Venom and Eddie Brock fighting to say, we should just kill these people. I don't know what is wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a crazy thing because I feel like we haven't had that much exposure with Venom. So I feel like we've never seen them really, like, having different goals.
I feel like we have seen that.
Really?
Yeah, it's been, like, a thing where it's been, like, a push and pull kind of relationship for a while now.
Well, I know that, like, recently it's been that we found out that the symbiote has been changing Eddie's memories in that series. And that's the thing that I remember. I don't remember them, like, I don't know. I remember him, like, leaving him and everything like that, but I don't remember them actually having, like, different goals when they're together, like, to this extent.
I felt like they've had different goals, but he can always convince Eddie to do what he wants.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's felt like that for a while, I feel like.
I don't know. I really like, specifically, like, to the extent that he's, like, literally,
ripping
I love this panel where he's saying, come on, we have to help, and the symbiote is just standing still.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. So, what is it? And we have Norman Osborn being weird. That's the first thing that they, like, differ in opinion on.
What do you mean?
Like, they are, what is it? They're getting attacked by Norman Osborn with the Carnage thing, and Eddie's saying, we don't want to kill you, okay? We don't have to kill you.
But he does want to, the Venom does want to kill.
The symbiote does.
Yeah.
Not Eddie.
Right.
So they are having, like, this big...
And then Venom just does it.
He just does it without Eddie saying anything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he just... I don't know. It's weird to see him acting, like, without the control of Eddie. I don't know. It makes it feel a lot scarier to me because he can do anything.
In control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we sort of get more of that at the very ending when, you know, the symbiote says, I'm going to find someone who will do what I want if you don't do it. And that person just happens to be
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner, who we learn in this issue has never had the symbiote on him before.
Right. And it's funny that he was like just asked if he ever did, and then he's like, no, never had that before. Yeah. Now you do.
Well, they're setting up the storyline. So yeah, he's gonna fuck some shit up. I don't know. Can you tell me how you're liking this? Like, this is very different, I feel like. Like, it's
very different. It's very dark. I like the Eddie and Venom relationship. I like the kind of, like, the relationship between him and his kid and the fact that his kid still doesn't know. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Okay, no, you don't have to say anything else. I agree, kind of. Like, honestly, what's really added to the feeling of it all being all over the place is that I really dislike the fact that some of these seem to be coming out of order. Which, like, saying, we come back to Dylan at the place where the Makers... You know, we've learned that the Maker has a machine in a place where they take out codices, right? In one of these other issues. And we've been sort of dwelling on that story in the Venom tie-in issues with Dylan and Normie and who's it? The Maker. Mm-hmm. And in the last issue of Venom, the Maker got a bunch of symbiotes on him and went off. And now we come back to this story in this place with the machine, and Dylan's just here with the rest of them, and we don't know what happened. He's just there, no Normie, no Maker, and what's going down? So, I don't know. It was something that's weird to me. But overall, I really enjoyed this art. I really enjoyed the creative team in general. It's a good story. I thought that this was just 4 issues, but now it's 5. So, okay. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next issue that we're going to talk about is Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 12. Which is the ending of this series.
It's very sad.
But not really.
Right.
Kind of.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Were you?
I knew that they were going to do it near 12 because the first series, I guess, of Black Hammer was just 2 things of 6. So this is the same sort of thing. We've talked about this before on the show, and I think that this section of Black Hammer had a part in the middle that wasn't as good as the full thing of the first series.
I agree.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't feel like the first one felt, as I described to my friend who just got into comics, it just felt so human, even though they weren't really humans.
Yeah.
And it was just really relatable, emotional. I cared about the story, and I felt like part of this one I didn't care about that as much, and it wasn't as real feeling.
Okay, that's interesting because I didn't get that. The thing I didn't like was that it seemed like a lot of first of all, 2 of these 12 issues were Colonel Weird in that weird imaginary land where all the characters that didn't quite make it to stories were, and I thought that was a weird just addendum to everything just to sort of stave off actually giving us storyline. I
thought it was kind of okay, he's weird, we gotta think of something weird.
Yeah.
Let's just do this, and it didn't really work.
Yeah, it just they just felt like filler issues to me.
Yes.
So and then I felt like Lucy Weber was stuck walking through the Cabinet of Horrors, all the different rooms, much too long. That was 3 issues of her just doing that.
Yeah, and it was great for the first issue. I really liked it. And then it was okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But I think that this last part where they've been in this city not remembering everything, I think that's been done really, really well.
It has.
And it's been a cool sort of sister companion to when they were stuck on the farm and not able to do anything.
Right.
They had their memories, but they were trapped physically.
Yeah.
They're not trapped physically, but they don't have their memories.
Right.
So I don't know, and I really like this conclusion, this issue, learning all about Madame Dragonfly and her insecurities. I don't know. Did you like that at least? Do you like this conclusion more than you liked the rest of the series this time?
I did. And I thought it was a really interesting way of ending it, where they basically live inside of her as a dragonfly.
Yeah.
And they're I think the part that I liked the most was Gale and Sherlock are children, and they're playing.
Yeah.
And it was just really cute, because you know that they're lovers, and
they're very, very cute. I love it. I would support their marriage even if they're
and
8.
I just love that Madame Dragonfly, even though what she did at first seemed kind of evil, she really wants them to all be happy, and wants them to have a real life in a sense. So she kind of sacrificed at the end everything for them to have that. It's nice.
One thing that I wish they did a little bit more of was that they made a big deal about how difficult it was for her to do the magic to get them on the farm in the first place. And I felt like if they'd had shown us the toll it's taken on her or how difficult it actually was, it would empathize me more with her sort of situation.
Yeah, because she talked about it, but we didn't really see any of it.
Yeah.
If it was drawn out.
I don't know the stakes that you, had to be able to pull this off, to be able to, first of all, separate them so that they could save the universe from Anti-God in the first place, and then give them this, sort of calm area to live in. I don't know. I thought that could have been a little bit cooler, but overall, it's just such a beautiful story in general. Maybe this will read better in trade, this section of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love Dean Emerson's art. This art is always so good and so, solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. I love it so much.
I love it too.
Very excited for the next thing. I think the next thing in Black Hammer is a miniseries called Skull Digger, which is, it seems to be a Punisher sort of thing. So yeah, I'm very, very, very excited. I was going to say aroused, but I wasn't sure if I should on the show.
I mean, you can say it.
Okay.
It's cool.
Arousal. So next, you just read this today.
Yeah. I kind of came to a conclusion.
Okay.
It takes a lot for me to read House of X and Powers of 10.
By Jonathan Hickman.
I enjoy it at the end, but while I'm doing it, I don't enjoy it.
Okay.
It's just too much work.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I read comics, I want to just enjoy and not, like, read the graphs and read the, like...
hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Like, it's just... it's so much.
It's a lot of information.
And I respect it. I really do. But I don't think it's for everybody.
No. It's definitely not for everybody.
And I'm going to continue it, but I just wanted to put my feelings out there.
Yeah.
Of like, that is how I feel. And yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to choose to continue it, but...
like, would you say that it's not even necessarily the storyline that's the problem, it's the execution?
Yes. The storyline is not that intricate when if you took out all the other things and you're just like, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But everything added into it is just, it's so much.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of playing, like, an RPG, like a video game, and you have, you know, tons of things you can read, like these little books and everything. And the way Jonathan Hickman does it is, we don't really have a choice. We have to read all the books in the RPG.
Right. Yes.
Which is, I think, is really satisfying sometimes because it can give you a lot of really cool information, but it can be a little grating.
It does. I'm going to be fully candid. I read this on the toilet.
Yeah. Do it.
And I did roll my eyes when it came to the point where it was the explaining stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, the paragraphs. I was just like, oh my god, I just want to read a book on the toilet. I just want to do that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. It's Jonathan Hickman. It's a lot.
But I love Jonathan Hickman, and I love his other stuff that I've read.
I know, but East of West is so different than this.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really excited. The thing that's most like this that I can probably see is Black Monday Murders. That's probably the most like this style of storyline.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for you to try that. It's less like paragraphs of stuff explaining stuff, but there's, you know, symbols, there's some hierarchies.
Great.
It's really good though.
Yeah.
And he's really, I think even though you don't like it, like you can see the talent in it.
Of course, as I said, I fully respect it.
Yeah.
When I read, I'm trying to escape the stress of life, and I feel like it kind of adds some stress.
Yeah. I can understand that, just in terms of understanding it.
Yeah.
Not even like the story is too like whatever,
no,
like
high
paced. Yeah. It's just the action of doing it.
Yes.
Is a lot.
Yes.
So did you feel like at the end of this, when we have Charles Xavier shaking the hand of Apocalypse, did you feel like that was a big deal?
Yeah, I did.
It's like, I haven't read a lot of X-Men, but this feels like a really crazy thing to me. Like, they're like saying, are you going to cause any trouble here? They're totally ready for it.
And they wanted him to like verbally say, like, so it was said that he would not, and that he's going to follow the rules of Krakoa.
Yeah.
And, no, it was powerful, I think.
Yeah. And he's like saying, you know, Wolverine asks him, you know, is it going to be a problem? And he's like, for centuries I fostered war and conflict, all in hopes of mutantdom finally asserting dominance over the world. And, like, this is it.
Yeah.
You've done it. So, what does he have left to do?
Right.
That's the only thing he's ever been, like, antagonistic with.
So, it kind of felt like he was going there and be like, now I can retire.
Yeah.
Now I can...
He's like Thanos on the farm.
Exactly.
Oh
he's like,
God.
do you have a chaise lounge and a martini? Yeah.
But yeah, I love this issue. Then, talking about, I think the resurrection thing adds a really cool... I know you don't like that as much.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's that when the resurrection thing happened, I felt like it was the issue prior to it. All these mutants died. It was really emotional. Then you cut to this. Oh, they're all alive again. It's okay. Like, oh, okay.
I understand that. And I told you this earlier.
And I get it.
Yeah.
Looking back to the first issue when they previewed that this was going to happen, but I didn't really remember.
Yeah.
When you're, you know, thrust into this story.
Yeah.
You don't really remember that, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, okay. It's kind of felt cheap.
It did.
But I get it.
But then again, they are talking about a bunch of different lives of a person. Like that,
Yes.
all this is probably going to get reset anyways.
Right.
And I think what this does is it adds an element of drama that can happen in the story, like in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that adds like a sort of, okay, we got to protect these people because they are literally our most important mutants.
Right.
Including GoldBalls. Who just has GoldBalls.
Yeah. He's a cool character. He
In
has lots
fact,
of golden balls.
They're fleshy golden balls. They're organic material.
Right.
So...
Do you think his actual balls are gold?
I wasn't going to go there, but...
I'm going there.
I think so. They
Wow.
must be.
But if they're not, do you think he feels inferior?
Like an Inferior Five?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. It's sad. It really is sad
It
to
is
be
sad.
GoldBalls. Fabio Moon?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Am I just making that up?
It's Fabio for sure.
It's Fabio...
Last name, I'm not sure if it was Moon.
Medina. I don't know why I said Moon.
It was an M.
It was an
Close.
M. It was an M. And it has an N in it.
Yeah.
No O.
Oh, Fabio.
Oh, Fabio. Okay, well, that was House of X, number 5, by Jonathan Hickman. Oh, by the way, just this art, though.
Oh, it's nice.
This
It's
art has
very
been
nice.
fantastic. I love this cover of Apocalypse coming out
and
of the
the
swamp.
coloring in this is fantastic.
I think that's one of the best things about it, honestly, the coloring. Who is it? Gracia.
Really good.
Sorry, Gracia. Yes. Another book in which the art is fantastic. High Level, number 6. A book that has not come out for so long, and I thought was ending with this issue. Thank God, hopefully there will be 2 other parts.
Yeah.
Samantha, we haven't had... It took me a little bit to get into this issue because we haven't
same for
had
me
it in a while.
because I totally forgot kind of where we were at with it.
Yeah, but it got me in, I think, pretty fast.
Yeah, because it starts off when you realize that guy that was initially like her friend and tried to, set this whole thing up to get this girl to ascend, and then you realize he's the evil dude.
Evil dude.
So that's where we're at, is that we just realized, oh shit, he set us up.
And he shoots the fucking kid that she's been bringing there.
Shoots the kid like in the head, puts a bag over her head and shoots her in front of the world, right?
Yeah, in front of the fucking world. It's fucking crazy. And then they all start to die.
Yeah, then right when that happens, all those fuckers start to just die.
And I don't know, tell me if I got this right. Apparently it turns out that the special person was
13.
Was the 13, the protagonist all along.
Yeah.
She goes into High Level or something like it, and there's no one there, right?
Right.
There's absolutely no one there. So that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah.
They've set High Level up as the city where no one really knows what happens, but there are a bunch of people there. So what happens to the people that have ascended? Are they dead?
Who
Are they
knows?
somewhere else? I don't know. But we end up where this child is dead, she burns the body, and this, evil dude... says that...
Are we supposed to know who he is?
I don't think so. He was the dude at the beginning of this issue. This guy, probably.
Right.
But it's some evil dude that says, it's so entertaining to see you squirm and whatever, and you suck, and that's about it. And then she's going off and finding her purpose kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a...
But it was just sort of like a big hit because the whole entire... all these 6 issues have been about, protecting this kid, and this kid is, the treasure that needs to get to the area, and then it's just, no, that's not it.
And it's because he could open up everything. You remember his power was to,
It was a girl.
She
cut her hair. It was a girl.
Her power was to, come upon military loot boxes kind of thing and open them.
Yeah. Yeah, she was powerful.
I mean, yeah. But alas, we'll just have to figure out. I hope it's selling well enough. I don't know anything about the sales. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. Oh wow, we're on our last one that we want to talk about. Okay. Cool. Well, we had another new series that came out called Strayed #1.
Yes.
We had differing opinions on this book. So Samantha, I want you to tell me what you thought about this book. What you thought about, the story in general, and why, sort of what you like most about it. Other than the fact that it stars a cat that has a lot of power.
Well, it's a cat who has, what is it, astral?
Astral projection.
Astral projection. And her human. And they're, being contained on this spaceship, basically? Is it?
Yeah, I think they're in a
By
spaceship.
like the government or something.
Some sort of entity.
And because we have to find new planets that are viable.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like when the planets are found, the inhabitants of those planets are being like murdered.
Yeah.
So used like to find information and then murdered. But you know, this cat and her human are being forced to do this, so they don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was cute. I mean, the story isn't really so different and so creative, but it's just a nice, like, owner to pet relationship, and, like, I feel like it's gonna be nice. Just the feeling of protection and love and animals and...
I have a question.
What?
If the creature that could astral project
Was a human
child, would you continue this series?
No.
Is it fair to assume that the reason you're wanting to continue the series is because it's about a cat?
Yes, but if I don't like the second one, I'm not going to continue.
Okay, that's fine. No, I just wanted to nail that down because I think it's really funny.
It is really funny, but it's a cat.
It is really... It adds a nice little bit of fun when it's something that like doesn't necessarily like have all the knowledge that like the humans have and is in a place of manipulation.
Right. And I guess this cat wasn't born with these abilities. It was kind of like a thing where we just had in Guardians with Raccoon, where he was like poked and prodded and like experiments done on him and everything, and then he became, you know, who he is.
Yeah.
So this cat kind of had the same setup.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, I will say, like, I enjoyed.
I like
story.
Wando's art in this. I think it's very unique.
I like the art by Wando.
Very unique.
Unique?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. No, I do really like it. I just don't think that it is at the level of a lot of our other series.
It's not.
I mean,
But it's a lighthearted thing, and it's kind of nice to have sometimes.
You mean as opposed to House of X Men?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's kind of nice to just read it and go, aw.
Aww.
And then be done with it.
I get that. I understand that.
We all need something like that at times.
I agree. Well, yeah, I didn't like it as much. I will say that this cover that we got the variant cover by Dustin Wen, the artist from Ascender now.
Yeah, the cover's beautiful.
I love this cover. It's great. Got
Everything he does is gold.
It really is. Well, it's not. I mean, there's got a lot of different colors in here.
You know what I mean.
Okay.
They recently showed on Instagram like a video of his process of how he paints everything.
Oh.
It was so cool.
Really?
People should watch it. It's really cool.
That's awesome. I don't know how he does that with watercolors. I feel like when I did watercolors as a kid.
He literally, it was one paintbrush and he didn't change the color and he just like applied different pressure. What? And made it a darker shade, a lighter shade. And it was like a beautiful picture. It was so cool. Oh this guy is crazy talented. Dustin Wen, look him up if you don't know him. Yes. Look up his address. Go to his house. Don't do this. Sorry. Make him dinner. Don't make him dinner. Make him a nice dinner. That's good. Wait, what if they take that to mean like they'll make him into a nice dinner? Make a nice dinner for him to eat. Good. And then do his dishes and tuck him into bed. Aw, kiss him on the forehead. Aw. That'd be cute. Yeah, and then reach straight to him because it's a nice aw before bed, you know? That's good. Show him his cover, too. Yeah. Be like, you did this. You did this. You did this. Look at you. Look at yourself. I like that. I'm going to make believe that happened tonight. Aw, that's so cute. Well, Samantha. Yeah. This is the end of our spoilers. Okay. This is nearing the end of our episode. Okay. I had a good time talking about these books. I had a great time. Yeah. Well, we have some books next week, too, that we may or may not be able to talk about next week. It'll be fantastic. First of all, and some of these books are stuff that you're not reading yet. Right. But you're close. So we got, like, Black Science, number 43, which is the very last. Which is going to be which volume? This would be volume 10? I don't know. Okay. Because I just finished volume 4. I've been reading issues for the last, like 3 volumes or something. Oh, okay. Or maybe even 2. I'm not sure. But we're at the end. It's been great. I'm really excited for you to get there. Samantha's been reading, like,
book after book, like, in order, which is a great way to read it, I think. I don't know. It's just, I love it. You just got through Grant McKay's big arc where he's...
Yeah, and it's been my favorite arc so far.
Yeah. It's fantastic stuff. So yeah, that's finishing up. Detective Comics number 1012. I think we're finally getting to the Mr. Freeze stuff, finally. We have East of West number 43, which I'm going to read. It's the first issue of the last arc of that. Speaking of Jonathan Hickman. We have Justice League Dark. I don't know the number. I think it's 15. It's either 14 or 15, but that's still great. Powers of X number 5.
Powers of 10.
Powers of 10 number 5. Thank you. As always, we only have 3 more weeks of these X-Men books.
Okay.
I wonder if the new series is going to be as much.
I feel like it isn't.
Yeah?
I feel like this is a lot of setup for it. So hopefully it's going to be a little more...
Yeah.
A little easier to read.
I have a feeling that'll be like that. I don't know. Also, I really enjoy the art that's on this. Lineal Francis Yu is going to be on the new X-Men series. I'll have to show you that art soon. It's very cool.
Okay.
Then we have finally back Shazam number 7 by Jeff Johns and Dale Eaglesham. That's been so long since we had that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to learn to have more about Billy Batson. Batson. I was going to say Batsman. Then we have, again, White Trees number 2. The last of White Trees by Chip Zdarsky and... forgot his name.
Anyway, I hope
Chris Anka. Chris Anka.
I hope we get more penis.
There was penis in the last one, and hey, you can always reread Watchmen.
Sure.
Or we can watch the movie.
We gotta watch the movie so I can see some blue penis.
Seriously, let's do that tonight.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
But
soon.
Soon we'll do it and we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Okay, well, I think that's going to about do it for this week. Did you want to read this part or the next part?
You got it.
Okay, I got it. That's going to do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Pretty please, give us a review or star rating on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us. Please. We're begging you. We're not like, desperate.
Not at all.
Well, nonetheless, we release episodes weekly, but not really on Sundays. Recently, we haven't really been doing it weekly.
We have a life.
We have a life.
It just happens.
And everyone has a life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying, I have a toe.
Well.
Except for people that don't have toes.
When you work and you're in a master's program and, it's a lot. So.
Toes are a lot. You got 10 of them.
We do what we can.
We do what we can. We do what we can. So, most of the time, we'll be doing it every other week. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you might get a bonus. Who knows? There's always a bonus. You know that song?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's not really a song. But nonetheless, be sure to check back in at some point. Do it weekly, just because, you might have missed a bonus episode from the past.
But you don't have to do that. You can just subscribe.
Exactly. If they subscribe, they can have it directly inserted into their veins every single time.
Direct penetration.
Direct penetration. It's amazing. That should be the name of the episode. No, probably. That might turn people off.
Yeah.
Direct penetrate. No, that's not good. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
But you can subscribe and you can just get those things downloaded right into your phone whenever they're released. It's pretty great.
Your phone will be full of valuable content.
Thank you. It will be. And you can do that. You can subscribe on many podcast apps like iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play Music, TuneIn, Overcast, lots. Cool. So whichever one you prefer, we have got you
covered.
Thank you. You can also find web archives of all our previous episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That is libsyn.com. And on our YouTube channel. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, even though I don't post nearly as much as Doug used to. I should. But we're under the handle @comicscovered. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media or email to comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. I am gratitude.
I am
patience.
Cheesy patience.
Cheesy patience. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's almost like GoldBalls, except it's like cheesy patience.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is that same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wordplay. And this has been Comics Covered.